Good morning, guys. February 29th. Happy leap year. I actually had a friend her mom was born on February 29th, and she was like 64 years old. But because she was born on leap year, she was actually only 16 because she only had 16 birthdays. Anyway, did you guys know that it took 8,580 people to move the tabernacle? God set aside the Levites to take care of the tabernacle when he was distributing different jobs. And then within the Levite clan, he set aside certain families to say, all right, you guys will be the ones to cover up the furnishings. You guys will be the ones to take it. You guys will be the ones to take the poles, the curtain. And it's going to take 8,580 of you, and that's just men from 30 to 50 years old that are going to move the tabernacle. Why is it important that the tabernacle moved? Well, it's where God dwelled. That's where they were able to come to God and to meet God. And so wherever they went, sure enough, they took the tabernacle with them. And it took that many people in order to make sure that God dwelled with them wherever they went and that God was with them. And I just think it's awesome that one man, one person, one God came down to this earth, died for our sins, and no longer does it take 8,000 plus people to move the tabernacle. But because of Jesus, that tabernacle, that temple is us, and God dwells within us. And it only takes one of us to move to make sure that God is reaching other parts of this, other parts of our town, other parts of our school, other parts of our country. And not to say that God isn't everywhere, because God is everywhere. But he specifically says, I reside in you. Draw near to me, and I will draw near to you. You are my temple. It is in you that I dwell. And it's just awesome that now it only takes one of us to go into another place. It takes one of us to do something and to take God wherever we go. It no longer takes 1,000, 10,000, whatever it is. It just takes us. And guys, I hope that's encouraging to you to know that God sees us as important enough that he wants to dwell inside of us. I just think that's awesome. And then in Mark, we see Jesus feed the 5,000. And I love that story because when Jesus feeds the 5,000, the crowd has followed him. He was trying to get away from them. They follow him. And he saw that they were hungry. And so he tells his disciples, he commands them, you give them something to eat. You feed them. And what do the disciples do? Man, that's 8 months' wages. I don't want to. I mean, that's 8 months' wages. How in the world are we going to do that? And then Jesus says, well, here's 5 loaves, 2 fish. He splits them. He has the disciples distribute them, and everybody gets fed. And what I love about that story is Jesus gives the disciples a specific command. And when he gives the disciples that specific command, he gives them a way in which to get it done. You see, God is not going to be one that says, you do this, you do that, and then not provide a way. Everything that we have heard from God, everything that God tells us to do, everything that he has commanded, he says, I give you the way to accomplish it. You be holy. You be perfect. How does he give us the way and how to do that? He gives us his spirit. He says, because you have my spirit, you can be holy and you be perfect. He says, you go and make disciples. What does he do? He gives us a spirit in order to be able to do that. Maybe as you've been taking time in your spiritual disciplines, maybe fasting or prayer or meditation, you have heard God tell you to do something. Hey, you need to be nicer to your mom. You need to go tell this person at school about me. You need to reach out to that kid sitting at the table all by himself. You need to stop those kids from bullying. Whatever it may be, and you say, God, that's impossible. That is too hard. I just can't do that right now. I tell you, God has given you a way to do it. And if you don't know what that way is, if you follow, he will show you that way. He will give you the tools. He will give you the plan. Because he has commanded you to do something, and he is not one that leaves us high and dry and says, figure it out on your own. I love God, and I love what Jesus has done in us, and the way that he has, in a way that he has said, you can do all things because of me. And I know I just took that that out of context. But to say that if I have told you to do something, by golly, I'm going to give you the way to do it, and I'm going to help you through it. So, guys, just today's reading was great. Who would have thought that you could get something out of Numbers? Uh, but anyway, love you guys. See you tonight. I know this is a little longer than my 2 or 3 minute videos, but anyway, happy leap year. See you tonight.